here from Cooperative Kids of Agawam, and today I want to give you the final C to cooperation. We're covering the 6 C's of cooperation, and we talked about calm, the importance of bringing your child to calm. First you have to bring yourself to calm. That's rule number 1 in creating cooperation. Number 2, the second C of cooperation was connection, to always connect before you correct, always connect before you transition. And then we talked about the third C of cooperation, which is consistency. And remember, consistency is actually the big C of cooperation. Once you lay down boundaries, once you lay down rules, it's very important that you're consistent with that. Otherwise, none of the other tools will work. The fourth C of cooperation was compassion, being willing to see what's under the child's behavior and not just look at the behavior. Asking yourself, what is really causing my child to be so angry or to be so hurtful? And address the unspoken need. The fifth C of compassion was consequences, and we talked about the difference between consequences and punishment. And consequences when the child knows ahead of time, and it can also be involved in helping to create the consequence. And here we teach a child that they always have 2 paths, and they can choose whichever path they want, but in choosing the path, they also have to choose what's at the end of the path. So we're teaching children to be responsible for their choices. You can look for my material that is coming out, and I go more in depth in each of these tools. But understand that a challenging child is really trying to tell you something. There's more going on underneath the behavior. And today, the last C of cooperation is catching. You probably wonder what I mean by that. Some of you may have read the law of attraction, where they talk about so much about what you focus on is what you get. Well, it's true. And it's been scientifically proven that we see what we look for. Whatever we expect, whatever we focus on is what grows. And this is why I have a real problem with labeling children, unless we've used the label to simply help them and to come up with more tools to help them to thrive. But when we just label a child and say, well, this child is just a troublemaker, this child is disobedient, this child just never listens, if that's what we focus on in that child, that's exactly what we're going to see in that child. Our children will live up to our expectations. Boy, did I learn this when I was a teacher. I was so careful of not labeling my children. So catch your children doing things right. Catch their strengths and mirror that back to them. Catch them in their great moments and mirror that back to them. Watch and catch them doing things right and point that out to them. Make a big to-do over the behaviors that you want to see repeated. By the way, this not only works for children, it works for us as adults. If your spouse finally gets around to painting the deck, rather than saying, oh, you finally got around to doing it, you might want to say, wow, I love that you took the time to do that. That was so helpful. It makes me feel so loved when you're that helpful. Guess what he's going to look around to do? More of that. Same with our children. Make a big to-do over the behavior you want to see repeated. Too often we emphasize and give all of our energy to the behaviors that we're trying to change or that we don't like. And what we focus on expands. It's scientifically proven. So I challenge you from this day on, catch your kids doing things right. Catch them in their greatness. Catch them in their strengths. Point that out to them. Tell them the things that you notice that they are doing that you really love and that you really admire in them. And they will do more of that. Watch for future video blogs and watch for future material. You're going to find the 6 C's of Cooperation coming out in one audio video that you will be able to download for a nominal price in the future. I will also be offering some online coaching classes around the 6 C's of Cooperation, so you can get more in-depth information on how to create more cooperation in your home.